they approved me, but then something else happened. I couldn't link my bank account for the bank account that I had because it was prepaid. It didn't go with Plaid. They use a service called Plaid. I couldn't use that, so then I was forced to open up a regular bank account. So I'm like, man, I don't know if this is gonna work. Hopefully it works. So I started applying for different bank accounts, and I got denied for multiple, probably 3, probably even 4. 2 were old bank accounts that I had, and then it was like 1 or 2 that I didn't have, and they all disapproved me. And also I applied for a car loan, and I applied for financing through another company. Even a account that I have, Capital One, I actually have that, and even they disapproved me. So I'm like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. Then I applied for another bank account, and from another institution that I never had, and lo and behold, they approved me. So I was so happy. So they approved me. I made the deposit, waited for everything to go through. Then I was able to upload that account to the Carvana account, and everything was straight. So I had that. So I'm like, Lord, when I pray, I just thank God for everything that He approved me for. Lord God, thank you for my new bank account. Lord God, thank you that you let me get approved from a car dealership. And once I got this car, I thank God for this car. Once I got my beauty salon, I thank God for my salon. And I'm going to do a video about how I got approved for my salon, how I knew my salon was my salon. But that video is probably going to be on my hair page. So let me back it up again. So I got approved. So I'm looking at vehicles. I did start to do one vehicle. I think it was an Acura. And I started to go through that. But then once I was about to go through with it, I noticed that the color and something else wasn't what I thought it was, so I ended up canceling that because I was so stuck on the black. I think it was a gray color, but it looked black, so I canceled that because that wasn't right. And then I found a car. So I'm like, it was a 2013 Audi A4, beautiful car. And I went with that. So I'm like, God, I think this is a good idea. It's a beautiful car, it's luxury, and it's like more modern. It's not like, you know, it's not 06, 07, 08. It's in the teens or whatever. And I could always upgrade within 2 years. I could keep this for like 2 years and upgrade to a higher vehicle that's 2017 or higher. But I was reminded that I heard 2017, but I still went with the flow because I'm like, this is, and the car was black too, like I like. So it's black and it's luxury. So I'm thinking that this is, you know, this is for me. So I went with it, and when it was time for the car to get delivered to me, it was a week late. So they, when it was time for me to get the vehicle, a couple of days before it was supposed to be delivered, they notified me to tell me that it could not be delivered, that it will be delayed for a week. So it was supposed to come on Monday. They had to reschedule it to come for the following Monday because something happened. I can't remember what had happened. So I'm like, okay. And then once it was time for it to come, they had rescheduled me a new date. They asked me what time I wanted it to come. I put it for the morning. Then it ended up being scheduled for the afternoon. So I'm like, oh my God, I need to be doing stuff this day. So I still went with it, whatever. So then the day of, and during the time that it was supposed to come, sorry for that noise in the background. I'm outside. Which is obvious, but it's plenty of people outside right now. So when it was supposed to come, the time of, the lady, the representative, which was a woman, she called me about 30 minutes before time and told me that she was going to be late. So I'm like, okay. She ended up being even later than that time that she told me. And then, you know, I was like, okay. So she called or whatever. Instead of coming, and she ended up being okay after all this stuff happened that I'm going to tell you. But in the beginning, I kind of didn't, like, I kind of wasn't feeling her because of this stuff. So then she called and was like, oh, well, can you come across the street? Because the type of complex I live in, you have to go through security. And she was just saying that she don't know if she's going to be able to go through. You definitely can't go through there, whatever. It's definitely enough space for that car, for that thing to go through. And it's even smaller than a repo truck. It was way smaller than that. So I ended up going across the street to her or whatever, and she ends up lowering my vehicle and stuff. I don't know, wasn't feeling her that much at first still. But before she even did that or whatever, I looked at my vehicle. I looked at the side of it, like I could see the shape and stuff. The color was good or whatever, but I just didn't like it. Every Carvana car that gets delivered, they wash it before it gets here, but it looked kind of shrieky. It just didn't look that cute from the side. So I'm like, oh my god, in my mind, I'm like, it doesn't even look that cute. But I'm still going to it. I'm like, you know what, let me look at the front. And before this even happened, after I ordered it and stuff and said all that stuff to God in my mind, something came in my head like, that's not your car. And I tried to like kind of rebuke it. I didn't say I rebuke you or anything, but like, nah, this is my car. This is a good idea. The payments are going to be pretty low. It's luxury. It's a decent year model. It's not super old, and it's the color that I want. So it's the color that I want, and it's luxury. So and the payments aren't too high. So this is a go. So then once I seen it, and then I was like dissatisfied in my heart, I was like, yeah. And I heard that again, like, this not gonna be your car, this is not your car. But I still was going for it. I test drove the car, so she lowered it. I got in the car. It took me a while because I had to get used to it. Everything was so different than my other vehicle. Well, I was, you know, trying to get, you know, adjust my seat. Ended up test driving it around the block, brung it back or whatever. So I'm like, you know, yeah, it's cute or whatever. The front was, I really like the front. I'm just a sucker for, so the front, the shape of the front was pretty nice. In the back, I just wasn't too keen on the side, and then the car didn't look as clean as I thought it would look. But I'm definitely a sucker for the Audi logo. I love those, you know, the rings. I think that just makes the car look so beautiful. And of course, if it has a nice shape, it's just a nice looking car to me. So yeah, I still ended up liking it for the most part. I did feel a little something in my heart, and I heard that again, but I was like, you know, trying to go for it to make sure, you know, I'm hearing correctly, and I was just trying to go for it. I was tired of waiting for a car, and I just wanted a car. I needed to do something that day. I had so much stuff planned, and I thought before this I was making a good decision. So then I come back or whatever to where she was at, and she asked me how it drives. I'm like, it drives pretty good. And then I'm doing the paperwork. She's going through the paperwork with me, whatever. And then I noticed that the side mirror, the right side, is messed up or whatever. It falls off. And I was so shocked because Carvana has really good reviews, and I'm like, okay, why is this happening? So she ends up, actually before that even happened, before I even touched over, I did see her playing around with that mirror. But I thought she was just like trying to adjust it a little bit, trying to clean it. But yeah, the thing ended up falling off. So not the whole entire thingy, but the inside mirror ends up coming off. So she ends up fixing it for me. And then I'm like, okay, you know, let me just see if when I adjust the mirror, you know, they have the, you know, you have the button inside. And the button is the button that you turn, like if you turn it a volume up and down, that's the kind of button that it uses, that it has to adjust the mirror. So I was like, you know, let me try to, since she fixed it back, let me see if it's going to work when I adjust it or whatever, if it's going to go up and down, you know, if the mirror is going to work, because I definitely need my mirrors to work, because I'm not trying to get pulled over. I'm not trying to get into no accident. I can't see out my mirror properly. So I started, you know, messing around with it, trying to adjust it. So when I did that, I just pressed it down a little bit. I don't know if I was supposed to press it down, but I did not do it hard at all. I just turned it, pressed it down a little bit for some reason, and the whole thing, the whole button went down inside. My car is different, so I can't show you, but it ends up going down. Okay, this is the hole. It ends up going down inside the hole, and it can't come out. That tug, the thing that I heard, plus the mirror, plus the the adjuster, all those things were just signs for me to not get the car. So even she said it herself. She was like, I don't think you should get this car. If I was you, I wouldn't get it. So in my heart, before she even said that, I'm like, yeah, I remember what I heard. That's not the car for me. I'm like, okay, this is not the car for me. You know, let me stop trying. I decided, I'm like, okay, let me call my mom or whatever. And so my mom, she's in a total different state or whatever. I call her and I showed them my car, but my mom and my little sister were in the front, so I saw them. So I FaceTimed my sister and was talking to my mom, and you know, they're like, oh, it's nice or whatever. They see the inside, but they not paying attention. So I showed them the mirror or whatever. And I'm like, what do you think? My mom, she's like, you know, I think you should just get it or whatever. They could just fix it. But even after she said that stuff, she tried to like just say, you know, I should still get it because it's a pretty nice car and it could be fixed. I ended up still feeling in my heart that I shouldn't. So I just went with my own instinct, and also what the representative said too, and I just decided to turn it in. So I ended up turning it in the same day. You could keep your Carvana car for up to 7 days. That's your test drive to see if you want to keep it. Then something else happened. It wasn't that bad, but it did not update my my dashboard that I had turned the vehicle in. So I was worried about that. I'm like, I turned the vehicle in, but on my Carvana dashboard, it's not saying that I turned it in. This made me like the lady a little bit more when she had, you know, she said that, and then she also suggested that I go quick. As soon as I see a vehicle that I like, try to go for it because they go quick, and they do. Majority of the vehicles that I was liking, even though it was hard for me to pick one, when I did see a vehicle that I was trying to go with, it was gone. They go so fast up there. So I did take a break for like 2 days from looking for a vehicle, but then I went back and was like, you know what, let me start looking again. I remember what she said, and I started looking for vehicles. So I was between 2 or 3 cars. I was between the Hyundai Sonata, the Hyundai Elantra, and another car. So I ended up narrowing it down to the Hyundai Elantra and the Hyundai Sonata. So I started looking at reviews on YouTube to see how the model actually looks in real life rather than the model on Carvana, just so I could get a better look at how the body is shaped and everything. And I was reminded of the 2017 again. So instead of looking at a whole bunch of different vehicles, and even instead of putting in black, I just put in 2017, and I've seen those, and I narrowed it down to the Hyundai. Even though I'm not a big car person, but to be honest, I wasn't expected for me to like a Hyundai. Like, I was just starting to have a more luxurious taste in cars during this whole process. I was just starting to be more attracted to luxury cars. So I look up 2017, I see Hyundai Elantra, Hyundai Sonata, and I was like, oh, these are pretty nice. I like this. It got more of a modern look. It's not too round, because I was trying to get away from like round looking cars. My last vehicle, which was my first vehicle, it did have a round shape, and I was like, I decided that I didn't want that type of look. It looks more older, and I wanted something that was have some curves to it, like some lines and some curves, and I wanted it to be less round. So this vehicle isn't too round. It has more of a square kind, I don't know how to describe the shape. It has some squareness to it, and it does have some curves, and it does have some lines. It's a sedan, so it's not super curvy like a coupe, but it has more curve to it. Well, I was torn between the Hyundai Elantra and the Hyundai Sonata. I ended up liking the body of the Hyundai Elantra more. So then I started looking at the interior, like what did I like about it, what did I not like about it. So I pretty much liked the inside. The inside wasn't black, but I liked it. So my vehicle, when I saw the model, the gray was like a darker type of gray. It had like a certain type of gray that was like more rare to me, so I really liked that. I was like, well, I really like that gray color. It's not black, but it's doable. It's on the darker side, and I like that type of gray. Like, I like that. And then it was another one that was like a red color. It was the Limited. I liked the Limited better, the style of the Limited, because I have the LED lights. I really like that look. But I didn't like the red with it. I just didn't like it. Plus, I didn't really want a red car anyway. Not because I feel like red is too flashy, but I just wasn't feeling a red car. Plus, my grandmother has a red car. And then I didn't like the way the red looked with the car, like the style of the car and the body. So I ended up liking the body of the regular Hyundai Elantra, 2017 Hyundai Elantra, better. Even though the only thing that I didn't like was that it didn't have the LED lights and it didn't have a backup camera. But it came with Bluetooth. I could connect my phone, everything. Have aux cords. It had some modern technology along with some traditional. So I really like that because I was so used to driving my other vehicle and I'm a new driver. So, you know, it ended up being a blessing. So I did go with the regular Hyundai Elantra, the gray model. When it came, it was not the same gray that I want, but it was a pretty nice gray. It was like a silver gray, or it is a silver gray. So I'm like, you know what? It's not the gray that I wanted, but it is a very nice. I just had peace. I had peace in my heart within me the whole day. So when it was time for my delivery to come, after I picked the car, it was announced to come within 3 days. So it came fairly quick. The day of my delivery, it came on time. So I actually did think it was the same lady or the same representative. I actually prayed that it don't be the same because even though I did end up liking her more towards the end, I did feel like she was kind of careless in certain ways, and maybe it was, you know, she could have kind of messed up that part of the vehicle. Even though I had Silver Rock, they could have fixed the vehicle, but I just didn't have peace in my heart that that was my vehicle. I heard that that wasn't my vehicle, so I didn't go with it. So I prayed that, you know, Lord, if this is the right car for me, you know, and just let the delivery go smooth. The vehicle come on time, and let me have a different driver. So when the person came, I heard her voice, whatever. She kind of sounded like the other lady, so I thought it was her. So I'm like, okay, I did end up getting the same person. But then when it was time for her to come, she called. She said her name. I can't remember the first lady's name, but she said her name, and then she was asking how to get inside. And I asked her, have she ever been to my complex or whatever, and she hadn't. So I knew that wasn't the same lady, because the same lady, she had delivered to somebody in my same complex before and told them to do the same thing, come across the street to get your car. So I knew if it was that lady, she would have known how to get inside, because she was calling me, asking me how to get into my complex. Her GPS was taking her all over the place. It wasn't leading her to the right place. So I gave her instructions and told her how to get inside. So it was delivered, and it was delivered on time. So she was on time. She was friendly. She asked me if I wanted to go over the information again, and I did, and she was kind about it. She didn't tell me like oh, do this, do that, but if I needed any help, she would help me. She let me fill out the information in the car. While she was in her car, the first lady, she was kind of getting close to wherever, so I made sure I kept my mask on. And yeah, I didn't really like that. But this lady, she was a lot more thoughtful, and she explained things well. She was on time. And then my vehicle was beautiful. It wasn't the same type of gray that I wanted, or that I was expecting. The model on Carvana was a bit darker, but it still was beautiful. It's a silver gray. It has great things about it. When it happened for this vehicle, I just had a lot more peace. And then I also had the option to take this vehicle back, because I have 7 days, but this will be my last chance. I decided to keep this vehicle because I have peace about it, and it's both, like I said before, it's both modern and traditional, which is good for me, especially since I'm still fairly new to driving, being a licensed driver. So a lot of updated vehicles, it can be tricky on how to use things. I'm still learning about this vehicle too, like the steering, like not the steering wheel, your transmissions could be like very tricky how to work it. They have different some you have the push button to start the vehicle, or you have a special type of key, all that stuff. So it has a lot of it, even though it's a 2017, has some traditional things. It even have more traditional things about it than the Audi in some ways, but it does have a lot of modern things. And what was I going to say? This vehicle only had 11 and something thousand miles when I got it, so that is very good. Barely have any scratches. Can't notice any scratches. Very clean. And the payments are even lower than the first vehicle the Audi that I picked out. So my monthly payments, because I am having the car note, it's not paid off like my first vehicle. My first vehicle, I knew that I wanted to just buy a vehicle. I knew that I did not want any car payments, and that was good for me at the time because I wasn't making that much money. But now, I'm making more, and I know I wanted a better car than I had before. I did not have any problems with my car before that accident. I had like a fender bender, but it was barely anything wrong with the way the car ran. But I knew that I wanted a better looking vehicle, and I know I heard 2017, so I knew I was going to get a better vehicle. Eventually get a better vehicle, so I am happy with this. It has a lot of things that I like about it that I wanted in a vehicle. Like I said, it doesn't have a backup camera, but my sister told me that I might be able to get a backup camera installed, so if I can over time I will get that done. And I am going to get some LED lights. I looked it up, and they do have that available on eBay and Amazon, so I plan on getting some and putting those up there so I can have LED lights too, because I think that is so cute. Yeah, I'm very satisfied with my vehicle. I'm so happy that God came through. I got approved for a 2017 vehicle with bad credit, and I went from an 06 to a 2017, 11-year difference in less than 1 year of driving. So that is amazing. I didn't have to take increments like, okay, get a car that's 3 to 5 years older. No, God went ahead and gave me something that's 11 years older. So I am very satisfied this car will last me for some years to come. It was only 11.5 thousand miles on this vehicle. When I got my other car, my first car, it was over 100,000 miles. Like 160,000, something like that, but over 100,000 miles, only 11.5 thousand miles. That is amazing. I am so thankful for God coming through like this, for providing almost a brand new car and a new salon that's a great size for me. It's not too big, and it's also not tiny. I was only expecting to get a suite. I wasn't, and even before the suite, I was thinking about just making a mini salon in my home, because you can do that if you have the right, you get permission and you have the right things. So I was thinking about doing that with my apartment, getting a mini salon, but then I was starting to lean towards a salon suite, which is small. But then, and I'm going to tell y'all about the salon. But then God came through and let me get a salon. All this with having not good credit. So this is how I know this is God and this is not me. The first time it was a bit me, God, I felt peace with my first vehicle. I think that I made a good decision. When I was first getting, like, my first time going for a car, I actually had went to a Honda dealership, and they was going to approve me for a 2019 vehicle, because it was 2019, a brand new vehicle. But even though the car was nice, even though it was a new car, I just did not have peace about it. I just felt in my heart that, and the guy was a nice guy. He actually lived in the same complex as me. But I also just felt in my heart that it just wasn't the car for me. All I needed was a co-signer. I could have asked my grandmother, which I didn't want to do anyway, but I felt in my heart that was for me anyway. But I felt peace about that first car that I had. And I guess because I knew that I didn't want to make payments. So during that time, that was the right car for me. Now God has this car for me. So I'm just so thankful. And yeah, I'm just so happy. I'm very grateful. And I am going to do some little stuff to it. Like, I don't have anything special in it right now. I'm gonna get a steering wheel cover, and like I said, I'm gonna get those LED lights. And then if I ever want to play around with some color with the car, I can do that. Like, I can get a wrap in the future if I want. So I'm very happy, and it's a nice color too, a nice subtle neutral color. It's not, you know, dramatic. It's not like a red or something like that, but it's beautiful. So get ready to see my vehicle, guys. And it's crazy, I have red hair right now, and when I had got my first vehicle, I had red hair too. I had those red passion twists in my hair, and I think I was wearing a green top too, red and green. This is crazy. I had that green top on with the red hair, not have red hair with this green dress. I actually got some compliments today. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. I haven't really talked to you guys a lot, so I'm just happy to be talking to y'all. And I got more videos. I was able to do videos like it was before because I like doing my videos in my car. So now I could pop out some more dream videos for you guys too, and possibly some car vlogs if you guys still like those. So thank you guys so much for tuning into my testimony, to hear my update of my new vehicle, and to hear the testimony of how God led me to my vehicle. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I don't know if I'm looking in the camera or not, but don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And also do not forget to subscribe. And once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to do live for you guys that subscribe to me for dreams and you like dreams. If you want me to be able to interpret your dream live, then make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell someone that is interested in my type of content. Car vlogs, dream videos, and entrepreneurship and my lifestyle. Make sure you tell them to subscribe for more. So when I hit 1K, I could go live sometimes, maybe once every 2 weeks, once every month, and I could go in and help you guys out with your dreams and interpret your dreams live. It'll be a lot easier. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, okay? And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. And be on the lookout for my salon video, my video of how I knew that it was time for me to open a salon, how God blessed me with my salon, okay? Bye bye.